So what's worse than waiting for your food to be delivered? How about if it never shows up? Now, some of those flyers under your door are more than just annoying. They could be helping crooks pull off a fast food fast one. And that's not the only way clever scammers can come after your money. So before you head off for that last summer holiday, how can you protect yourself from those seriously sneaky schemes? Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
I would have to say K. Paul's was one of my favorite restaurants.
It began as a fun trip for this mother-daughter duo, but for Chris and Katie Bisek, their stay at this New Orleans hotel quickly turned into a nightmare.
It's about midnight and our hotel room phone rings, and it's one of the ladies from the front desk explaining, I need your card number to put on file, otherwise, you need to get out of the room. And I was like, oh my, okay, this lady's serious. So I gave her my card number. And that was that.
So Katie gave her debit card number and went back to sleep. But the next morning,
I woke up and immediately thought to myself, there was something sketchy about that call. She checks her bank account and realizes all her money is gone.
But it turns out it wasn't the hotel front desk. Katie had given her information to a scammer. And this particular scam is so common, many hotels, including the one Chris and Katie stayed at, post warnings about it. The American hotel and lodging industry says it provides regular updates to hoteliers on scammers targeting hotel guests. Like this one, the pizza scam.
You'll find flyers under your door when you check into the hotel. You call, you give them your credit card information, you order your pizza, and nothing comes.
Because they're really not a restaurant.
It's not a restaurant, it's not a pizzeria, it's nothing, it's a thief. There's the Wi-Fi scam, and that's where in your hotel, you're searching for a Wi-Fi system. You find the system you think is the hotel's Wi-Fi system, but it isn't. And be very careful with the kind of information that you provide and the kind of things that you do. Stay away from banking transactions. Maybe don't look at your email.
In a statement to ABC News, a representative from the St. Christopher Hotel writes, every guest who checks into our hotel is given a credit card scam letter, making the guest aware of the scam and advising the guest not to divulge any credit card or other sensitive information. But the Biseks say they didn't see the warning letter until it was too late. And it's not just at hotels where you can fall victim to these kinds of scams. As millions of Americans hit the road next week for the Labor Day weekend, thieves are also preying on ATM machines and gas stations with a practice called skimming.
I knew it was stealing, I knew it was wrong.
Dan DeFilippi is a reformed credit card hacker who got busted and switched sides to avoid prison time.
I was printing my own fake credit cards, and then I would go to the store, purchase electronics, and I would resell them.
He spent 2 years training agents in the dark art of skimming. He spoke to my colleague, Nick Watt.
The ATM cashing was the easiest and best way to make money, and I was making thousands of dollars a day in cash doing that.
But DeFilippi's favorite target? Gas stations, installing gadgets like this one inside the pumps.
Gas station skimming is one of the easiest and best ways of doing it because it's hidden. The person using it will never see it. It only takes seconds to open it up and put it in there. So this is the reader that would be inside the gas pump, and so you would just swipe it through and it would read it right here. Nobody would know the difference.
When investigators at the Arizona Department of Weights and Measures
we're here checking for skimming devices,
found a skimmer inside this gas pump, they decided it was time to fight fire with fire.
We inserted one of these little night vision spy cams in the back of the dispenser.
And bingo! Here's the view from that camera inside, apparently showing a man and woman team caught red-handed.
And what we have here, we have the guy. And I have Mrs. Skimmer. It's awesome.
They start bickering when they can't find any of their devices.
So it's almost like a husband and wife team arguing about wherever their skimmer is because somebody got it. And that was us. We got it.
Law enforcement is still on the hunt for Mr. and Mrs. Skimmer. But in the meantime, there are some things you can and should do to protect your digits. Rule number 1, never give credit card information over the phone once you've checked into a room.
Go to the front desk
You want to see the person who's getting this information from you. I tell family members, friends, when you're traveling, don't believe anything over the telephone.
Number 2, check in with a credit card instead of a debit card.
They can move that money out of your bank account in a blink of an eye.
And if you're fueling up, choose a pump near the attendant. Crooks prefer to operate in the shadows, or you can always pay in cash. Lastly, no matter where you are, check your account a lot. Most companies will erase any fraudulent charges on your credit card if you report them within 60 days.
It happens in the best places, the most secure locations. Things like this can potentially happen.
As for the Bisex, they say their trip was ruined.
We were especially embarrassed because we consider ourselves kind of savvy to that sort of thing. You know, like we couldn't possibly be scammed, like that we would fall for that.
The advice we consistently heard, it's fine to let your hair down on vacation, but don't let down your guard. For Nightline, I'm Lindsay Davis in New York.